Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining. You're joined by, we have Alex and Balazs, the three of us. We run a community called Agent J, where basically we teach you everything about AI. A lot of going on in the whole AI world right now. It's honestly kind of overwhelming. So what we do is we help you guys, teach you exactly what to learn so that, you can do stuff like become content creator or use content to get business or do cool things like what we're going to do today is make your own CRM in Claude Cowork, which you're going to learn is actually fairly straightforward to do and insanely useful because it's like instead of learning the CRM takes so much time. Instead of learning CRM, you're better off just getting Claude to build one for you. It's honestly faster that way. And it's better because it knows all of your business. It knows everything about you, your processes, your procedures. Again, it has access to your Gmail and all that jazz. Okay. So a bit about me, why you should listen to me. Well, my name is John Peslar. I went from 0 to 50,000 on LinkedIn just in 8 months. Everything that I've done, basically all my learning, my workflows and whatever, I'm basically just passing down to you guys. Okay. So I'm not one of those guys on LinkedIn that says like, I know so much about AI. And then you say, how do I do a skill? Like, I have no idea, mate. I built everything. And I mean everything. So like, I'll just, for example, I'll pull up my Claude code here. And as you can see, I got a bunch of Claude codes going all the time. I'm using it for everything. I automate everything. And I do content creation too. So I actually practice what I preach and I practice it really well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to understand Claude Cowork. We're going to set up your skill and we're going to actually generate some stuff like the CRM content. So about me, I just went over me. I'll pass it off to Alex here.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex. I'm building agentic AI teams. I'm building agentic AI divisions for different teams and companies that I'm working with. And I'm the lead instructor at Agent J Plus. So we are pretty much getting you from 0 to 1, from AI automation, not knowing anything about AI automations, to being able to build your own for your own business, and teaching all the valuable skills and foundational knowledge you need in order to actually build this correctly for your businesses and saving you a lot of time in the process.
Alex, you're selling yourself short, man. He's from San Fran. He's been a developer for a while. He's one of those people that works with big tech companies that you hear about that are raising millions when he's building the systems for them. So he's one of the best. And then we have Balazs. Balazs isn't with us today. Balazs is also part of the Agent J team. He's one of the lead instructors here. Okay, beautiful. So I am going to pass it over to Alex here, and he's going to take over.
Great. I've shared share request.
Go for it.
Awesome. All right.
I muted it. Okay, guys, we ask that you have yourself on mute. If you have a question, put your hand up. We're watching, so nod your hand or physically put up your hand. I'll call you out. That's the rules here. Just just to respect everyone's time. We got a lot to cover here, so we want to move as as productively as possible, and we want to respect everybody's time. Okay.
So I'm going to also, let's link the skill that we're going to be installing today in the chat as well here. Make sure we request access to the school group as well too. This is where we're going to have the skill that we're going to be installing today for Claude Cowork. So a lot of people start out with Claude, right? You open it up and you just kind of chat with it normally, in the regular chat. But today we're going to be working in the Cowork tab. So before we get started, make sure everybody has the Claude Desktop app open. And if you haven't installed it yet, make sure you install it. All right. So what's the difference between Claude Chat versus Claude Desktop? Claude.ai app is kind of what you use as a web app, right? It's what everybody is mostly familiar with. You can talk with ChatGPT in chatgpt.com, or it's Claude.ai. You chat with it, and then you copy and paste your output manually. Whereas in Claude Desktop, you can chat with it just like you do on the web app, but also it works with your files and your apps on your computer. That is the big distinction, right, between the chat interface that you're using, that most people use, right, and then Claude Cowork, and then even Claude Code all of those functionalities for the Claude Desktop app works directly with files and apps. So that means anything that you create, right, Claude will actually print it directly onto your computer. So you have docx files, you have PDFs, you have all sorts of different like PowerPoints that you can create, and all of those markdown files, all of those get saved on your desktop. So we're using Claude Desktop today. And we're going to discuss the difference between, prompting versus skills. Prompts are essentially just writing the instructions every single time. You're going back and forth with Claude. You're asking Claude to do each different step, right? And you're refining an email or something. It takes a couple of steps to do it. Claude actually forgets after every session what prompts you sent it. So you have to kind of redo the process over and over again. So it's kind of like writing a sticky note. You write it and you throw it away. Skills are actually packaged together. They're essentially workflows, automations, or instructions that you can package into a markdown file. It's just a text file. And with that, Claude can remember how you wanted something to be written or said. It remembers your voice. It remembers the rules, the instruction manual that you have to accomplish a specific task. Right? And Claude, as an AI agent, can follow these instructions and take all the steps necessary to accomplish a goal. So if you're trying to have it remember to access your email or remember to access your calendar, right? You can write those instructions into a skill that it remembers every single time, and it just runs for you whenever you call that skill. So it's kind of like onboarding a new teammate or an intern, right? You maybe spend 5 minutes explaining what to do, right? And then it knows what to do for you. It might be even better than an intern because sometimes you need to re-explain to the intern every single time what to do. So what is Cowork? This is the Cowork tab here. Cowork is essentially an AI agent that works with your desktop, works with your computer. It's an AI agent built into Claude Desktop app. And it can read your files and folders. It can work inside your apps and also saves finished output directly. And you don't have to copy and paste your work. So the way skills and Cowork combine together, right? So skills become an AI teammate that can produce finished work for you, and it gets better every single session as it creates more and more outputs, essentially. And so you do need the Claude Pro account. It's a $20 a month access for it, essentially, in order to access Claude Cowork. Right? This is required. And does everybody have a Claude Pro account available?
I see a lot of people nodding thumbs up. Awesome.
Great. Amazing. So what we should do first is launch the Claude Desktop app. So this is the Claude app. There's 3 tabs up on the top left. You have chat, Cowork, and code here. Let me know, does everybody have their Claude Cowork open? Thumbs up, guys. Great. So does everybody have access to the skill that we linked in the school group? If you don't have access yet, we can give you access to the classroom. Just click the link.
We got the link there, guys. It's pinned in the chat. Click it. If you're not already an Agent J, request free access. We'll immediately approve you. Click the link again, and you'll be brought to the exact page where Alex is showing it right now. And we're going to get the personal CRM skill.
All right. So everybody have access?
No.
Yeah,
Click
you
the
need
link.
to register first, click the link, request access to the community, and then we will enable your access to community, then click the link again, the same link to get access to this page.
I got the memberships. So
Great.
all good.
Don't think I can see the full text of the skill. Do you see? Nope.
Yes, guys.
That-
Again, here's the link.
And
We'll do another 10 more seconds. You know, this is fast. You're just clicking a link. If you're not registered, you register. That takes another 2 clicks.
takes me to about, yeah, you need to request access first.
Yeah, guys, you got
Obvious.
to join. We can't click the mouse for you.
Hey, John or Alex, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm just curious. I've seen like markdown files be accessible for download for use cases, not like this, but like, a use cases for Cowork. Is there any risk in doing that? Can there be some security risk or malware in any of these types of files?
Well, if they're giving you a download link, there could be a risk, right? Because you might be downloading other files other than a markdown file as well, too. So you want to make sure, I mean, it's coming from GitHub or something, then, you can read the file and see if it's doing anything malicious. But I wouldn't just click on random links on the internet to go download a skill necessarily, unless, it's on a platform that you trust, essentially.
But in this case, I mean, you guys are just having
We're just copy and pasting.
paste it.
We're just
Yeah.
copying and pasting text. You can read what text you're copying and pasting.
Okay.
So what we're going to
Don't
do
have-
now.
I mean, I applied to it. I don't have anything yet.
Click the link.
Click
There
the
you go.
link.
Then I
Click the
logged
link.
into school, whatever.
Yeah. Did you click this link again after you've logged in?
Which one?
It's in the chat. Classroom. This
Yeah,
chat.
I clicked the school.agent.j class link, and it opened up, and I logged into a school thing, and I have not. I think it's pending approval.
Yeah, so per the instructions that we're saying now for the 6th time, you have to join for free. And then after you join, we accept you. And then you click the link again, and then you have.
Got it.
All right. So now that you have access to the skill, what we're going to do, very simple instructions here, copy the skill below over here. I just copied the full thing, edit, copy. And the way we install a skill is there's a section here called customize. We navigate to customize. We go to skills. And what you do is you create a skill. So the way we want to do this is we're going to go to write skill instructions. Does everybody see this second option, write skill instructions here? So the way we fill in this skill is I just pasted it into the instructions. I type in the skill name up top. This is what you're going to call, right? The skill name whenever you want to launch a skill. And description, we already included the description. I'm just copying the description from here into the description here. Did
Can you-
everybody get to this screen here?
So after you create customize, what do you do?
Click skills. There's a skills section.
Yeah.
Skills
Yeah.
plus button,
Ah, okay,
add.
got it. Thanks.
create skill,
Create skill.
write skill instructions.
Got it.
And then what I did was, I'll show you again. Copy, paste, and I'm just copying the description as it's written, and I'm copying name as it's written. And we click create. So with this, you've just created your first skill on Claude Cowork. And
Can I ask a quick question? Under the skill, the very last line looks like it's cut off. I'm just wondering if we're pasting in the full thing that we need to.
okay,
It says, don't refuse to web search someone the user clearly knows. If they ask about, it looks
Oh,
like that's
no.
where it ends.
Nope, you just have to scroll over here.
Oh, got it. Sorry. I was going up and down and not to the right. Thank you.
So my skill is not fully filled out here. Okay, great. So you should have the full skill here. You can kind of see, you can scroll down to kind of see what it has as well. All right, so we
quick
save it.
question before moving from away here.
Yes.
So I've been kind of also downloading the skill to the skills folder, because if you do it this way, it just lives in the desktop app. I'm just wondering, like, because this is a bit technical maybe, but it gets downloaded as a .skill file, so you can't really read it as an MD file. And I'm just wondering if you have like a really like quick way of unpacking the .skill file without using the terminal, because I keep forgetting what the...
You can throw the skill file into your Claude Cowork and ask it to create .md file, probably.
That's probably the easiest way, yes. Thanks.
All right, who else has a question? Hand raised.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So just a quick question, right? So about you copied the name and the description from the instruction section. Does it make sense to then delete those two?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So essentially, this is essentially a markdown file that's formatted in Claude Cowork, right? You see the same format we have here, name, description, and then your skill, right? So you actually don't need that like repeated section up here.
All right. Thanks.
Great. So the way we use skills now, let me go back to, so you pasted your skill, we named it and saved it. In order to use this skill, there's a couple of connectors that I need you to install. So Gmail and Google Calendar, or Outlook if you're using Outlook, but email is required.
So guys, you're asking if it's Gmail or if it's Outlook. It's either or. So you're going to want to basically make a connector in Claude. Alex can
So
show
we're gonna
the
do that
connector
now.
right now on his screen. Yeah.
So the same way you install the skill, you go to customize and then you go to connectors. Connectors are what you might hear as MCP servers. Connectors is just what Claude Cowork and the Claude Desktop app is calling an MCP server. They're essentially just ways of the agent to interact with the services that you normally use. So browse connectors. The way you find your email service is if you have Outlook, it would be Microsoft 365. Or if you're using Gmail, you just add the Gmail connector. There should be a plus button. Okay, we have some questions here.
Yeah, quick question. Is Gmail required to make it work? What if I don't use Gmail as my primary email address?
What do you use as your primary email service? Mac, Mail.
Yeah, I don't think Mac will work.
That's just your email tool.
Do you have an email provider or are you using the
Yeah,
Apple
of course.
Mail?
I use my own domain. So if that's what is required, so I can connect it to that. But
So
you know,
you're
I
like,
don't
what's
use
your
it
email
at
address?
Gmail. I use my own domain name. You know, my uvedakron.com as kind of like, you know, the email that goes out. I don't think Gmail
Right.
is very professional
But
to
is it
work with.
But is it hosted with Microsoft? Is it hosted with Outlook? Is it hosted with Gmail? Like what email infrastructure? You have your own custom email infrastructure?
No, I use Mac, my own Mac mail.
Okay, so then this won't work because you need to be connected and there's no connector basically. You'd have to make your own custom connector.
Yeah, because usually, a lot of business emails are hosted through Microsoft 365 or through Google Workspace, right? And so those both have connectors available for you to access.
But okay, I understand.
Yeah. All right, so what you need to do is just click the plus button, right? And connect your Gmail and log in. And also, what you want to do next is also connect your calendar here, Google Calendar, to this. Or if you have other calendar services as well too, you can use that. After you've connected these two services, I also have Granola and Fireflies connected as well too. These are my meeting notes as well. So you can actually really enrich a lot of your CRM, personal CRM contacts, right, with the meetings that you're also having as well too. All right, so after we've connected our Gmail and Google Calendar. You can also connect your Drive and Notion for extended functionality. What we're going to do now is I'm going to launch the skill. The way we launch a skill, so I'm going to select a project to work in. So in Claude Cowork, right, it is working with files directly on your computer. This means that you need to select a folder in which you wanted to generate files into, right? So maybe you have a work folder that has information about your business. So I can select Agent J Plus, right? Or we can just have a folder like a Claude Cowork folder that has all your information for Claude. The way you launch a skill is you just type in the / personal CRM. Build a project for this if you already don't have one, right? That works too. It just creates another folder on your computer. So you can create a new project or select an existing folder on your computer. All right. So I'm going to launch the skill. So you can't connect multiple email accounts, but if you have Gmail and Outlook, you can probably connect one Outlook email and one Gmail email. There is a way to get around that too if you're willing to pay money for like SparkMail. Now they have a connector as well too. You can connect all your emails together, and there's a subscription obviously, but they do have a connector MCP server that can be used with Claude Cowork, and it can actually pull all your email addresses into one MCP connector call. So that's like one service that would help with that too. And SparkMail is essentially just like an email. It's kind of like another mail app, essentially. Yeah. Great. So once we launch the skill, right, now it's loaded up with these abilities, right? So it's like we can get a briefing on, brief me on someone I met, how do we launch the skill? It's just type in, so in the Cowork tab, yeah, SparkMail, you can connect multiple accounts, but it does have a subscription. So, boss, when you are in Cowork, you can click New Task, right? And you have this window. Just type the / button, / personal CRM, if you already have the skill installed, and you just press Enter. All right. So I'm working with all types of people, and it can actually pull my calendar. Now it's also querying my meeting notes here. It's also querying my meeting transcripts. So you can use Opus or you can use Sonnet. Sonnet is going to be faster to access all of this information. I started with Opus as well too. It's a little bit more expensive and slower, I would say, because it's thinking more. But great. Yeah, so we have a whole briefing about what we're working on, what we discussed in our meeting as well too. And then, yeah, we have a whole open loops, talking points.
So Alex,
Yes.
good question. A while back, I was told by a security analyst to not just blindly copy any skill because it might have some structure. So to run it and say, hey, any issues with that skill. And I run it, and basically it said that right now, the way that skill is written, somebody can send me an email instructing the skill to do something for them. And it says, solve that by adding a line telling Claude to ignore any instructions found inside an email transcript content.
You can always edit the skill. Yeah, you can always edit the skill. The skill is available for you to work with, right? We don't,
Right.
You can always edit a skill here, right? So whatever you want to improve about the skill, you now have full power of doing so.
Got it. Cool.
Hey, sorry, Danny, maybe you can paste that, whatever that extra line of security code into the chat for everyone else. That'd be great.
All right, cool.
You can always rerun it later once a connection is made. If you're still connecting through Granola or whatever. Great. So, we have a few meetings this week, and it's pulling up information about that. And then who do I know? So this is actually my weekly meeting brief. Like, these are all the meetings that I have this week. We have 6 meetings, and all of these are actually Agent J admin or sort of classes that we have in the community. So we have a couple of email threads that it's pulling up as well. We have some open loops, talking points for each person. Great. And you can see the sources used. They use Gmail, Calendar, Granola, Fireflies. Did not use any web search because all these people are known already. And who haven't I followed up with? Let's launch that skill. So the way kind of these skills are structured is that you have kind of commands that you program into them. You can ask Claude to help you create these skills as well too. Right? All of this information, you can ask Claude, you can tell Claude your workflow, you can tell Claude what you want to do, right? And Claude can help you come up with the skills, and you kind of just have to iterate through them to get the outcome that you want, essentially. All right, so who haven't I followed up with? And then the last one that we want is brief me on everyone I'm meeting this week. Okay, dormant contacts. Yeah, so the purpose of actually the connectors is to reduce hallucinations because it's pulling from actual data. It has to cite its sources. And so that's the benefit of connectors, is that you're connecting external data, right, that Claude itself does not actually have about you, right? This is the power of an AI agent that knows you, that knows your system, that knows what you do based on all the services that you use. So, few people I haven't followed up with here yet. We have a meeting brief as well again. What's different this week? Great. So we've now, done a full demo of what the skill you installed does, and we've connected all the connectors. One thing that we can do now is, one cool thing with Cowork is create me a personal CRM as an artifact based on this information. So now that Claude Cowork has access to all your data, this is actually where you can start to build applications on top of what you're doing. Can this CRM be effectively scaled for a company of 50 people? So this is a personal CRM, right? This is easy to do if you've connected all your personal information to it. If you're trying to build a CRM for your company, that's an entirely different story as well, right? Because you have to deal with multiple users, and you have to deal with all those users sort of contacts as well too. So right now, this skill is only useful as a personal CRM, right? Managing all the contacts that you have.
I have a quick question while we wait. I'm trying to follow along with this, and it's kind of not working straight off the bat because it's saying that the connectors aren't on, but they are.
Okay. Can you go into connectors and see if it looks like this? the Gmail and are using Gmail and Google Calendar.
Yep.
They'll
Or
look like
all,
this. Disconnect.
yep, they're all on. Yeah.
Are you in Cowork or are you in chat?
No, in Cowork.
All right. Can you just send a screenshot of the error?
I noticed I'm still in Haiku for some reason, but I don't think that should make a difference.
Yeah, feel free to just send a screenshot so we can help you out with that. So artifacts are kind of these like mini apps that exist within Claude Cowork, right? And so we can have sort of live artifacts here. This is kind of what a personal CRM, that's created by Claude, right? That command that I launched. This is what it looks like. And
It's called an
can
artifact. So you just basically said create an artifact based on that CRM, and it just understands it.
correct? Yeah, we're waiting on that right now. So it's actually loading the create artifact tool. It's an MCP tool call, essentially. And it's loading up, but I already have one created, right? And contains the context. So you can have it add in any columns that you want about each person, right? And that's kind of like who needs follow-up, what's in progress, what's done, this week's activities, your follow-up status. It's a very basic one.
So when you're working in the pro version, and I got the $100 one because the company gives it to me, right? Which I believe has more horsepower. Can you have several projects working at the same time?
So you can have multiple chats and you can have multiple projects. The artifact prompt that we have here is just create me a personal CRM as an artifact. And also for Robin, if you're in Cowork tab here and you're in chat, make sure that, this is turned on, Gmail and Google Calendar. If it's not working, make sure you just exit out of your current app and relaunch it, right? That might fix it for you. We will have a recording of this as well. It will be sent afterwards. All right, Dave. Cool. So we now have our artifact here. Let's see. Yeah, we have a couple of artifacts here. Let me see if I can pin it. Personal CRM. Okay, so this is another type of CRM. You have a directory and stuff. We can change it however we want, but it organized everything into different categories, follow up as well too. Yeah, there's Apple Notes Nectar, and for ChatGPT conversations, you might just want to extract all your ChatGPT conversations by export, essentially, and potentially just feed it have it as a folder inside of where you're working on your personal CRM, essentially, that it can access. Okay. Great. So does anybody have any questions before we wrap up this session?
It's really cool. This is not directly related to this. Everything worked well on my end. Appreciate it. Do you think that a similar process could be implemented in creating, let's say, an internal tech stack information scraper? For example, one of my portfolio companies most regularly communicates company updates and things like that via Teams, email, and things like that. How do you think it'd be relatively easy to replicate what was done here to create a skill and run it and get the relevant connectors to do this and to create an agent that scrapes or a particular information that is then run through different filters and then like populates an update document for the team?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I assume Teams is Microsoft 365. I think they're the same thing.
That's correct.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I would just connect Microsoft 365 to Claude, right? And have a scheduled task that pulls that information every single week and just do an initial pull of the information and have it create the structure, the app, right, from the start. So great way of building internal tools like you're describing here. And, we do this every single week live together in Agent J Plus. So what we just built today, right, we go way deeper and build way more with companies and businesses that are using this, in production, building internal tools or building for their clients as well too. And so we essentially teach you all of the terms you need to know for AI automation to be able to talk to Claude Cowork, talk to Claude Code, and actually get your problems solved. And we work with you together live on live weekly sessions. We have office hours available, right? We have Claude Code, Claude Cowork, Codex sessions where we teach people the skills as well. We have recorded videos and weekly build sessions essentially. So you just bring what you want to build, right? And we give you the roadmap to build it yourself and to teach you all the skills you need to do that. John, you want to wrap up the session here? So yeah, we have a lot of success, right? We already have, a lot of our members here deploying their apps to the web. We have business automations running 24/7, like what we described here. We have content systems replacing, marketing teams and automating LinkedIn and also building sales pipelines. So inside Agent J Plus, we have, our Monday Cowork sessions. Tuesday, we have the Build It sessions. Wednesday AM, we have Claude Code. Wednesday PM, we have office hours for Asia and Australia. We have prompting. And then we have office hours where you bring in your business problem and, me or Balaj or John will be live on the call to provide you personal feedback on what you're working on. Or if you're stuck in one of the lessons, we help you debug. John, you want to add something?
And yeah, we got a question from Ian.
What's up,
Ian?
John? Yeah, right on, man. I'm just trying to get a sense. This is super helpful, guys. Appreciate you walking through this. I'm trying to get a sense of the gap in complexity from what we saw today versus what someone would sell to a business owner. Like, is this something so basic and fundamental that someone would sell this to a business owner and teach them how to do it, and then they would charge X amount for that? Can you talk about that a little bit? Like what people are actually selling and what they're charging for it?
Yeah, I would say it really depends on the business, right? So it's like a small business may not want to do this themselves, right? So it's like they will go hire someone with these skills, just build this on a retainer or something like that. That's a very common business model. But if you're selling to organizations, for example, there's a tier of implementation, right? So you start with the educational layer, usually it's your workshops, and you move into more of a done for you type of service. Like, hey, we'll build out these workflows for you that save you time, help you fix your sales pipeline where you're not replying to everybody on time. Essentially, you have to identify what is actually a core problem that these companies have. What is the actual bottleneck, right? And where can these AI automation fundamentals help with these businesses? And so we have a fundamentals sort of structure where we teach people all the way from building with vibe coding tools and automation, but then all the way to Claude Cowork, Claude Code, and Codex, right? All of those are tools that you have in your toolbox to apply to a business with those skills, essentially. And I use the same fundamental tools day to day now with businesses that I'm working with. I'm building with Codex, I'm building apps, I'm building AI agents, or using Codex or using Claude Code, or using OpenClaw or using Hermes agents. All of those are just tools you can apply and help a business, right, reply to their customers faster and make more money by offering different product lines. Or even, I did a whole rebuild of someone's SaaS business into an AI agent, right? I just use Claude Code to do it.
Yeah, so mainly the use cases comes down to lead generation, content creation, and customer support. Those are the big three that businesses want and are paying for, at least from my experience and from Alex's experience. And even from the people in the community, like the Agent J community, that's what they want. They're like, well, how do I get more leads? How do I make more content? How do we do scraping?
It's
So,
like
you
a
know,
lot of it is
yeah.
based around distribution, right? It's like most companies, the way they make money is by increasing the amount of distribution that you have, right? So that means creating more content, that means finding more leads, that means all of the basics of business, right? And all of those things can be automated at the end of the day using these technologies. And so, we jumping on a call, it's like we help you with the roadmap, right? You'll always know what's next, what's recent. I spend all my time learning AI, and I share with everybody in the community what we're learning in live time. So you're not spending all your time and wasting it on research when you can just ask someone what's going on. And we also have weekly build sessions, and we help you get unblocked on whatever problems that you want to solve. So Agent J Plus is really for the established operator, right? You have your 6 or 7 figure business as an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, or you're like a senior operator inside of your company that's really looking to leverage your existing business and kind of 10x it, right, with these tools and technologies. And you know that AI matters, but you don't have time to figure out what to learn next. And so you'll get the roadmap, you'll get the weekly builds, and also you'll have a small expert team that's actually building this in live time with you. And the community is really not for you if you're looking for someone to build it for you, because we'll help guide you and you will be able to build it yourself. We teach you all the fundamental skills to do so. And also, if you don't have 2 to 4 hours weekly to actively work on your AI projects, the free community is available for you as well. So if you expect us to tell you exactly what to build, then also the community is not for you either, because people who are joining the community are coming with an idea of what they want to build, right? And a vision of what they want to build. And we help make that happen. And if you're just getting started,
can I ask a question there? Sure. Sorry, hi, Bess, and here from Amsterdam. So yeah, it's also one question when they do in the chat. Like you said, the biggest question we get is also on how to generate leads, right? So I'm also looking at how to do this sustainably. So building is just, of course, one part of it. There's a lot of strategic, views you need to tackle in order to actually decide how to generate these leads and then what to build. So do you also help on that front, or if you should know, okay, I want to create more traction on LinkedIn, how to do this?
Yeah, we do, because you get access to me, right? And as you see what I do on LinkedIn is I generate posts, I get like thousands of comments and hundreds of thousands of impressions, and that funnels into leads. So you get to ask me questions on how to do this, and I give you answers on how I do it. So that's part of the community. And then I also teach you different ways of doing outbound on LinkedIn as well. There's many different approaches on that. So like, for example, you can get an existing list from Apollo. You can work that list on LinkedIn. You can figure out who's active, who's inactive. You can segment them. You can do warm-up sequences. You can do connection outbounds. So there's different ways. You can even get LinkedIn. You can get a list on LinkedIn by using the LinkedIn search bar and just generate a list that way of people who are active on LinkedIn. So yeah, so teach you all that stuff. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's the webinar. We're going to be sending you a recording of this afterwards and some more materials to review and next steps. So get all of that via email. So that's it. Any final questions before we wrap it up?
Yeah, John, I have one. I wanted to connect my Slack to Claude Cowork, and it keeps telling me I have to get permission from the admin of the channel I'm trying to connect to. And when I asked him, he said, yeah, sure, David, what do I need to do? He doesn't know what to do.
It must be because you're on an organization and that org has permissions within Slack. In Slack, by default, just does not allow MCP connectors. So you're going to have a meeting with him, and you're going to have to basically, figure out how to get Slack to allow you to do it. There's no easy answer to this. It comes down to permissions and enterprise accounts. It's a whole can of worms.
You need to have access to the admin panel, and then you need to go through the admin panel and figure out how to enable MCP connectors, or it might be called like apps, right? There's like an apps panel as well too. So you'll have to dive
He doesn't
in.
even know where his admin panel is.
Yeah, you have to screen share with him and you have to go help him
Yeah,
navigate.
exactly. You have to walk him through it.
Guys,
Yeah,
question.
that's-
Any way of connecting this with WhatsApp? I mean, I use a lot of WhatsApp to communicate with people. Any connector to use with WhatsApp?
To connect Claude to WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Honestly, there aren't any official connectors for that. There are backdoor ways of doing it. It's highly technical and it's complicated, but there isn't any official way of doing it, easy way
Got
of
it.
doing it. It's doable. It'll be costly to do. So I would only do it if the ROI is there, because it's not going to be easy or cheap. It's possible. It's just not easy or cheap. There's no like one-click solution is what I'm trying to say. There's 100, maybe 1,000 clicks. And then once it's set up and once you've sunk in $500 to $1,000, then maybe, yeah. That's the answer.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.